it's been a fantastic experience. First of all, going to Bucharest for the first time, fascinating city. I was warned by 2 New Zealanders on the plane coming in. They said I would like it because it's a crazy city. And it lived up to my expectations. That was an interesting experience, and then a total contrast in the more northerly parts of the country. So I'm enjoying both the country and the events you have arranged for us. So,
it's been a very interesting journey thus far. I'm very glad I came. The contrast from Bucharest to the mountains is extraordinary. The people have been lovely, and the food is pretty good. If I gain weight, I blame you. I came because of the conference, and it has been an opportunity to learn a good bit about Romanian writers. There, as you know, there's not a great deal published in the States by writers from Romania, particularly in crime fiction. And it's nice to see how much activity there is.
The conference is, now seems larger, it seems more international, particularly with the writers from the International Association of Crime Writers coming to participate and enjoy the hills and the trees and the authentic Romanian food. And it contributes to a lot of cross-fertilization, a lot of discussion among writers about various things that are going on in their individual nations and so forth, as providing opportunities for Romanians who want to write crime to see the many different ways that it's done.
About the association, I think it was a very good idea to bring people from different countries together. We have different aims, perhaps, but all we want is to be read, to find readers, and before we find readers, we have to find publishers or translators. That is one aim. But the other thing is, we want to talk to each other. We want to know what happens in the south of Africa, what happens in the United States, what happens in Scandinavia, what in the middle of Europe. And therefore these annual meetings, I think they are very good. I think also that a lot of translations, for example, had to be made by suggestions of friends who say, try this publishing house, or, for example, I would never have published 3 or 4 short stories in Ellery Queen's mystery magazine or Passport to Crime without the help of Jerry Healy, who first took a short story and offered it to them. So I think there is a lot of protection and a lot of help in this organization.
What happened here in Rasnov again is when people from different countries, from different cultures with different experience and background, you get new ideas as well, and questions you had may get answered, and new questions will arise, of course, and that's what we look in the future to find the answers to those new questions. The members of IEP are eager to come together because they can profit from this exchange. They learn new things. For instance, they didn't know about the history of Romania or of this region here in Transylvania. So it is always nice to visit new places, to see new surroundings, to learn the history of the place, because it helps the writers, if not to set anything just in this location, but to have a broader knowledge. And I would think that in these times of change in the world, because you see publishing is changing with electronic books, and communications are changing not with letters, with email nowadays.
People are desperate for escapism because of the realities of life in this particular society and how we lack so much control because of the technological world around us. It's very difficult to get a handle on it. So I think that people, you see that both in the, I think I see that in the vampire movies, that people are looking for another, just an escape that can't be understood from a technical point of view almost. And I think crime fiction falls into this also. I think the challenge is the world is changing so rapidly, and we just have to figure out how to fit into it in terms of crime fiction. At this point, there are several million books self-published every year by people, as well as books by regular publishers. And there's the online versions, and then there's various kinds of e-books and so on. And I'm struck by the fact when I visit my 30-year-old daughter that her bookshelves are filled with videos. They're not filled with books. She reads books, but her collection is in videos, you know. So there's a whole revolution going on in terms of how we express ourselves that has to go on at the same time as we're trying to write the stories. So it's very difficult, I think, to figure out how to fit into the future. But I think there is a real future for crime fiction. I think people are reading and looking at. I mean, you look at the top 10 bestsellers. There's always a good number of crime fiction in there. You look on TV, and it's the crime stuff that people like the most and talk about the most. In the States, things like Breaking Bad, or things that have a crime or thriller like Homeland, or even The Wire. I mean, these things all had criminal underlines as their base, but then on top of that, they have a real story that people are gripped by, and they're the most popular things that people watch. So I think there's a real future for crime fiction. And we just have to figure out, though, how we fit that into what's happening in the society and the ways that people are receiving their information now. And it's not always in a book.